She's back. She's back live. Ow! What happened? She's back live. She's back live on TikTok after TikTok jail. Yeah. We're live on TikTok today. Listen. Hey, y'all. I'm going to move so I can see your comments. Hey. It's going to be a wild day today because I was suspended for a little bit. That's why you haven't seen me on TikTok. And we're on day 9 or week 9, depending on how you're serving me up, depending on how you can handle me. Can you handle me daily or do you have to do it weekly? It's your choice. So I have a course and a workbook and all kinds of things I do. And I'm doing my workbook that I've had for 20 something years. I know I look good. I'm 50. And I am also, Elvis, you need to hold this yoga sign. Listen, you need to hold it. Behave. There he is. You got it? It's in your front of you. Okay. So, hey, Angela Shelton, depending on which day you're at, it could be week 9 or day 9. We are going through my workbook that is my most popular item. And you can deep dive me at angelashelton.com. You can deep dive me, fellas. You're welcome. You're welcome. I will play you the tiniest violin soon. But hold on. Let me give you some updates and some background. This is my most popular item. Just spit on myself. What? This is my most popular item. I wrote this years ago. It's the Be Your Own Hero workbook. It's the Sword of Trauma. There's many different versions, but it's the same workbook. There's a coloring book version. It's called Sword of Trauma, Angela Shelton Sword of Trauma. And then there's one with color pictures like that. It's real pretty. There's a boy version. There's a diverse version. There's another version coming out in December that is it's fancy. I can't tell what's my favorite. I think this one's my favorite. I really like the coloring book version also. You can get them on my website, angelashelton.com. They're PDFs download, or you can get the actual printed one, which I recommend, so that you can write it out. Okay, so what is it? What is it for y'all who have missed me? Hey. So quit yelling over there. Listen. So what we're doing, for those of you who don't know, just a little recap, and then we'll just get right into it. And the people who love me can add to, to help you out to where you're at. So, hey, good morning. So trauma, whatever trauma you went through, which is why we have a safety helmet, because, there's a lot of trauma out there, like a pandemic, like things like that. And I don't know whether it was your uncle, your daddy, or your ex-girlfriend, or your ex-boyfriend, or whoever diddled you or abused you or did whatever they did to you. Trauma is like getting pierced with a sword. Okay. This is why this workbook is the most popular item I've ever done. This is why it's used all over the world. It's like thousands of therapists, support groups, even retreats use this too. And it's because it's simple and you can apply it to any healing modality or therapy. I have my own recommendations, and that I'm giving this for free on my YouTube and my app so that you can elevate and expand faster in your healing. You're welcome. So trauma is like getting pierced with a sword. And the thing is, you can live like that for the rest of your life. You can. Guess what? We're on page, hey, good morning. We're on page 51 today. And for those of you who've missed it, you can get them all on my app, or you can get them on my YouTube. You link in bio. You can deep dive me all day long. Have fun with that. So recap. Trauma is like getting pierced with a sword. You can leave it in for the rest of your life. It's going to cause what? What's it going to cause? Health problems, mental problems. You're kind of a jerk to people. It's hard to cuddle. It's hard to get your life purpose on order because you're in pain, right? So we are going to remove it, heal the wound, and then you have it. And then you can be crazy like me and ride your bike with a sword. Or you could just do yoga with a sword. I'm going to be doing yoga with a sword. It's going to be awesome. Hey, Andrea, you're awesome. God bless you. Nice to see you. So we're on page 55, just to recap. We're at step 2 to remove the sword. And we've been doing it every day. And I did get kicked off of TikTok because I was answering questions, and me and my big mouth, I will say things. So I'm going to be, this is the advice from my child who's 9. She says, okay, mommy, where is it? Where is my, I got puppets all over the place. She's like, mommy, you keep getting in trouble. Speak in parables with puppets. What? so I do have a whole bunch of puppets. I was sponsored by Folk Manus Puppets because of my Tilda Pinkerton books. I also wrote a kids series. I don't know if you knew that. Folk Manus puppets are fabulous. I have almost every one. I have like a ginormous collection of Folk Manus puppets. Only on TikTok. Only my friends on TikTok can name them. Last time we were on, this one got named Ron. This is Ron. Hi, Ron. Are we going to remove it for today? Are we going to remove it? Arr! So if you look at your trauma like you're being pierced with a sword, you can live like that forever if you want. Hey. So, or you can remove it. And we're at the stage where we are removing it. Hey. And I do, P.S., I have a big mouth. I do call out perpetrators. I am a superhero for little kids. I'm Safe Side Super Chick. I won an Emmy for it. I'm also a superhero for adults and also men. All of that can get me in trouble with my big mouth because I will call stuff out. So on TikTok, that's why I decided today, I'm like, we're going to stay safe today. We're going to wear our helmets. I got my knee pads on. By the way, I searched everywhere. I searched all the Dicks in town. Even there was a grand opening of a Dick's and none of them had knee pads. It's hilarious. I was like, why doesn't the Dick's have knee pads? I don't understand. So I had to go to a different store to get my knee pads. Run! Is she going to behave? No! Listen. We are removing the sword of trauma so that we can be awesome humans and be elevating and expanding together and helping each other. No judgment, no weirdo like competition because we all have trauma, right? This is not my first rodeo. I've heard your stories, my God. And everybody's been through something, right? Hey, what? So I will look at, I'm going to keep going. We're on page 51. And this is the question today. We're going to start with, why not just leave it in? And you got a velvet Elvis. I do have a velvet Elvis. I have a whole history with Elvis. And why not just leave your sword in is a perfect segue to Elvis, my friend. If I left my sword in, like my trauma, I was a self-abuser, self-hatred. I come from, my daddy was the main perpetrator, then my brother, my stepmother, a date, RAPE, domestic violence, trauma, poverty, financial crisis. I had a Hollywood perp that I worked with the FBI to put him in prison because he was stealing millions and millions of dollars from myself and my investors and also 27 filmmakers. That's trauma, right? And anybody who's had a narcissistic mate, you ever been through that? That's some trauma. How did you get an Emmy? I was Safe Side Super Chick. You're going to have to deep dive me, baby. Woo! AngelaShelton.com. So what we're doing today, and I will dive into each one of those subjects, but I'm going to stay on point today because we are about an hour and a half. And we're going through this workbook. And I'm doing it every day, by the way, every day at 8:30 in the morning, my time. So New York time, 8:30. And for about an hour and a half on weekdays. On the weekends, I'm going to take it off so I can go ride bikes and climb stuff and wear my helmet and stuff like that. So if your trauma is like getting pierced with a sword, why not just leave it in, right? You can. Why not just leave it in? Because you're going to have health problems. You're going to have issues with other people, horrible relationships, repeated generational trauma, right? So why get it out? For me, is so that I could play with Elvis. Okay, so like to circle back with Elvis, I have a huge history with Elvis. I dance like Elvis. I'm a freako Elvis. I had my awakening with black women in the church, just like Elvis. I had like, I've been through pretty much everything that killed him. And I'm like, I'm gelling with me some elves. And also we share the same numerology numbers. That's weird. We're 27 nines. Anyway, so do you always go back in with the sword? Always. Like, no, I do all kinds of things with the sword. You got to like, we're on the sword topic today because of my workbook, but I will just deep dive me, AngelaShelton.com. They let me out. Billy! They let me out. Okay. And we're on day 9 or week 9, depending on where you're at. So why not just leave your sword in and not deal with your trauma? Well, for me, if I left my sword in and just never dealt with my trauma, I personally probably would be married to that guy, living in a cul-de-sac, popping pills and drinking all day, honestly, and never dealing with my stuff. But I dealt with my stuff. I've dealt with it. I even have a tattoo. I got the t-shirt and the tattoo, y'all. I did it. And now I show others, like, your trauma is like getting pierced with a sword. You can remove it and then you have it. So this whole like you're staying and being a victim, but you have to remove it. You have to address it. And the addressing it is either anger or sadness or a combination of both. I've been doing it for a long, long, long time. And each one of those can cost you gobs and gobs of money, depending on which healing modality you go to, or like retreat or whatever, psychotherapy or whatever you're doing can cost a ton of money. I'm telling you right now, it all boils down to what you're saying to yourself in your head. And you switch that by purging anger and sadness. It's really actually pretty simple. We just get so afraid to address things and be in this page of the workbook. Why not just leave it in? Why not just not address it? Why rock the boat? Because your true purpose in life, nice, Dickie. Well, I know if you're a dude, dudes do it on their own, and fellas, because I work with a lot of men. Sadly, when you ask a man who he has to go to when he needs somebody, it's a big fat 0. And so I'm like, my heart is just open and so broken and open. My heart is so broken that it's completely open, if that makes sense. Like I've been through it, I've heard it, and I have such compassion and like empathy that my heart is completely broken for you. Therefore, it is completely open. Does that make sense? It's like it's got cracks in it. It's like a mosaic. Let the light in. So you want to leave this in, right? Because it's familiar, right? It's like it's comfortable and familiar, and that is why. And also, we're afraid. Like a lot of people don't have anybody to go to. Look at her. She's so cute. A lot of people don't have anybody to go to or to deal with. And removing this, like addressing our pains, actually like really, really facing it, is scary. It hurts. You're going to probably cry and get mad. And I've noticed this many years doing this work is that the ones like myself who could cry at a puppy food commercial have a really hard time getting angry. And the ones that are just angry, like they stay like, I cut you. You know, those people like, what? They're just already at the level of anger all day long, have a hard time touching their sadness. Both of them have similar cracks where you crack that code of anger and they're going to blow up, and you crack the code of tears and they're going to blow up, but in good ways. So I'm going to share with you ways that you can do it and not blow up. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. What is this, a workbook? Yeah, you can get it yourself. If I removed my sword, I would lose what? Oh, if you think about that, like if like people that are traumatized, like all of us, if you really, really did address it and you really did actually like change your ways and really do, what would you lose? Think about that. Like what, if I really dealt with that, what would I lose? I mean, if you're dealing with generational trauma, you're probably going to lose your family. You're going to lose your friends. You lose your church. You're going to lose your community. Like, so, because we've already been through that. It's already in pages before this part, but you can have groups of people in denial. You can have communities in denial. You can have completely families in denial. And so when you work on your own healing, you can, and you probably will, lose people. And I'm going to say to you, congratulations, because your true purpose, here's why I'm doing this and why I'm doing it for free, is because your true purpose, just like mine, my true purpose in life is far more important than my pain. What the hell did you just say? Your purpose in life is more important than your pain. So I am a little bit of a drill sergeant. You lost them all. I feel you. Like same. And I'm going to always tell my own stories so that you can find some aha moments and healing things in them that what might work for you. So I have a pedo dad, my bio dad, who was also one of my abusers. He is ish because he saved me from himself. Weird, awkward, yeah. So he was the van down by the river, the pedo van that was also the man, had an arcade, that whole thing. I finally got the court documents back, 18 years old, and I took them to his dad, my grandfather. I knew that he would at least do something because my dad kept marrying with kids. And so I actually told one of his wives, and she left him. Thank you, Jesus, and all the saints in heavens. And I went to my grandfather, my family, and I told them with the backup of the court documents that they didn't even know about. And I was disowned. I was literally disowned. This is what I got. Never come here again. Never call us. Don't ever come by here. And when we die, don't come to our funeral. That was what my grandparents said to me when I was 18 years old. And I got, whoosh, those were the only ones that had any money too. Jeez. Yeah, so I got cut out of the will. I got cut out of the family. I got like completely disowned. I was trying to save kids. It happens, y'all. It happens. So I feel you, Sammy. I feel you. And I definitely relate to not having someone to talk to. Yeah, this is why I work with men. This is why I work with men. And also I get it with the women too, but women tend to have more support. I know, I understand, but with like male survivors, the silence is extra silent, if you know what I mean. So I'm super pro and supportive of men. So let's just get back to the questions. I know I'm gonna stay on topic. I know because of TikTok, I can just go down a rabbit hole and we'll be live for like 5 hours. And I love you so much. So, but if you removed your sword, you would also lose the story, right? Because with perpetrators, and I don't know who it was with you, it was, your last girlfriend, your last boyfriend, your parents, you were raised by wolves, whatever you have, right? That's a story that comes with it. And with perpetrators also come victim addicts. And victim addicts are those that are so victimized by the perpetrators that they tend to be very controlled by the perpetrators. And they live in kind of like this repeat victim world where they also promote and protect the perps. It's a whole thing of victim addict. I personally think victim addicts are sometimes more dangerous and many times more dangerous than the perpetrator. Because it's like the perpetrator, it's like, okay, that's what we got. We got the devil right there. So how are we going to deal with this? And then the victim addicts are a whole spin of a whole other mess of stuff. And when you spot one, when you got one, I say back away slowly. Back away slowly. Do not engage. Yeah. But I will tell you that, I've been doing this for a long time and I'm an expert in trauma and recovery. I really am. Hey, Rondi. But I want to tell you that there are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are perpetrators, and there are more of us than there are victim addicts. It's that the problem is we have been stuck in survival mode, just surviving, just getting our lives together because you're dealing with all this. And you probably got another one yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, it's like just life, just, whatever. You got fired, or you had this other thing happen, or you got this happen, or you addressed your trauma and more trauma came up. You You feel me? So it's like fight or flight, freeze, yes, fawn. So like so survivors can get stuck in surviving. And so what I've done for years and what I do and what I'm all about and why I'm wacky and why I have a sword on my back and why I talk about the sword is because I'm all about the survivor shifting into warrior, shifting into reformer, so that you are the best person in a foxhole. The one you want in a foxhole is the survivor who's healed, because they're going to be the MacGyver. They're going to be the one you needed right at that perfect moment. You're like, oh my God, like there's nothing like a survivor. There's nobody prepared like a survivor. There's nobody who's got your back like a survivor. There's nobody who's going to be there and show up, at 4 a.m. with the tackle box and the sword, but a survivor. It's just like brotherhood, like I made a boxing movie about brotherhood, and it's very similar, like survivors, brotherhood. You feel me? Cleaning camper. Nice. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's what I'm all about is shifting the survivor into warrior, into reformer. And that's also why I have Rockstar Reformers instead of, it's rockstarreformers.com. Check it out. Instead of Survivor Network, Survivor Group. I do have the Survivor Manual. I also have a book coming out called the Survivor Manual, but that's literally a manual to become a reformer. Do you see what I'm saying? And Rockstar Reformers is called that because we're freaking rock stars, yo. The stuff that we have been through and survived and can show other people ways out of. This is what I do. I show escape routes. Even when, like, I'm all about like escape routes right in the right in hiding in plain sight. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be even more, especially because my kid's advice is so good. She's like, Mommy, you keep getting like suspended and banned and fired and yeah. Hey, Ron. Hey girl. Hey. Ron is excited. So I've also been down the path of perpetrators. I've had the threats. I've had them show up at my house. I had the organized crime stuff. I don't want to talk about it. And I'm not gonna go there, but I will show escape routes. You feel me? I'll be like, I'm the funny who knows about all that stuff and is very, very aware, but I'm not the one that's going to be saving those people because I've already tried. I can direct you to the people that are doing that. And I'm going to be fun and funny and provide escape routes and exit, please. Exactly. Exit. Ah! While we are in the chaos. Okay. So that's my forte. That's my, like, that on the game of this nightmare and also heaven, the heaven and hell. I'm the funny, fun one who's going to provide escape routes. And I've been there and I know the people who've been there. And so I can be a secret weapon. I'm really a secret weapon superhero. I am. And that's why I'm and that's why I'm cleaning up all my stuff and organizing it and basically a little bit throwing the kitchen sink at you. A little bit. I do understand that because I have a whole lot of stuff, but it's all directed to one prick. My show is called Pricked. I'm just going to say. Heaven is long to wait for. Seriously. Like, so it's all going to one big prick. Yes. Okay. So that's why I'm doing this. That's so we're on the phase of like, we're going to do this every single day, at 8:30 in the morning, Eastern time, days. And we're at the space. Look at this is where we're at. We are in page 52. If I remove my sword, you would lose. And I'm scared of being fully fulfilled. This is a big one, y'all. You're scared of being fully fulfilled. Because why? Because it's unfamiliar and you don't know what the hell it's talking about. Here's my tiniest violin. And you're welcome, sir. Thank you, John. Who was it? Was it your mom or dad? Did you know that I play the violin? Was it uncle? Was it brother? Was it mommy? Was it sister? Was it creepy neighbor? Whoever it was, I don't care. I mean, I do care. I love care. But here's my thing. Listen, don't you make fun of me. This is my tiniest violin. Sorry about all the shit you went through in your life. But I'm here to tell you that I don't care. Here's my violin. I don't care what your story is. I do care, but I don't care because I care what your purpose is. Because your true purpose is more important than your. I don't care who it was because I'm talking to the warrior in you. I'm talking to the warrior in you. I want you to wake the fuck up. Did you know I have a violin? And so that's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the warrior in you, okay? So that you wake the hell up and you stop, get yourself out of the pain and live in your purpose. The two can happen simultaneously. This is also why I don't care. And I don't mean I don't care, because of course I care. That's why I'm doing this. But I mean, I don't want to hear it. I do want to hear it. I don't mean that. I mean, I'm talking to you and telling you your purpose is more important than your pain. So I'm talking to your purpose. And I get it. You can be in pain still while you're doing your purpose. You see what I'm saying? I don't care. Because we all have a story, right? Whether it was your sister or your brother or your creepy uncle. You are a warrior. I didn't touch the strings. Stop judging. You listen, stop judging. What are you doing? Do you have a purple violin? Do you have the smallest violin in the history of man? I almost got a teeny little one to play for you, but I figured that all of our traumas are so huge that you deserve a regular size violin. And so you're scared of being fully fulfilled because your purpose is more important than your pain. And I'm telling you, when you do the meditation work in here and you actually do the work to really hone in and like who you are, not what you were as an abused whatever, because that's just a sword. You feel me? That's just something that happened. I'm talking to the warrior that had that happen to them. So if we're all on this battlefield and I'm on my island and you're on your island and you've got swords and I've got swords and I just had one the other day and I'm like, whoa, oh my God. I'm still moving forward just like you still more. You ate it, didn't you? I ate what? No, I didn't eat that. So we're moving forward on our islands together. And that's why there's no competition or no judgment, right? Because you're on your warrior island. I'm on my warrior island. You might be further ahead than me, or I might be further ahead than you. I am definitely further ahead than a lot of victims who are now switching into survivorship and they look up to me. But I will say always, do not put anybody on a pedestal. You are on your own island. I'm on my island. I'm going to share escape routes. And then I'm going to be inspired by you. Just like I'm inspired by Rachel. I always use you as an example. Rachel has every disease never known to man. And also she has every degree. And she's like going through so much. And she's changing laws in her state, et cetera, et cetera. Like all the things that trauma-informed care people do. But she never misses her dance class. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, so I'm inspired by that. So we're inspired by each other as we are leveling up and elevating. And you're on your island, I'm on my island, and we are helping each other. Do you feel me? That's what I'm about. The keys. I ate the keys. Oh, that's funny. I ate the keys to the secret land. How's my hair? Did you like that? So, side note, when I was walking around like this yesterday, I've got big, bright red knee pads too, and this funny outfit on. And my mom goes, do people look at you funny? And I was like, oh yeah, everybody always looks at me funny. And I just go, stay safe. Stay safe out there. Sight is a true rock star. Oh, she is a true rock star. Yes, for real. So, but you're scared, okay, on your little island, like you've been through all your traumas, you got some wounds, right? You're scared to be fully fulfilled because why? Because it would be awesome, and because the things that you have to do in life are magnificent. And if you actually did address your pain and treated your purpose more important than your pain, you would level up to a different level, and you would have to be accountable to yourself to do what your true purpose is. Oops. Yeah. Another question is, if I was living a joyful life, then what? Then if I was living a joyful life, you wouldn't be complaining every day about some story that happened to you. You wouldn't be in wounded crisis all day long. You wouldn't be, feel me? You like, so, and also, by the way, I am a writer and I wrote books. I've written many books. I've written many screenplays. I've won awards. I'm a multi-award winning filmmaker, blah, blah, blah. As my gift to you in this workbook, I wrote the workbook in the hero's journey format so that when you actually do fill this out and you really are radically honest with yourself and you actually feel like, get it, download the PDF or just use it, go off of here for free if you don't have the cash, or get this and actually write it out in your hand. And in some of the questions, use your non-dominant hand. It's really helpful. And then type it out in a Word document. And this is already set up. You will have the first draft of your book. You're welcome. Yeah, and purpose is such a huge thing associated with potential. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so we can fall in love with people's potential, right? Like you're like, hey, he's a narcissist piece of crap and he hates me and treats me like crap, but there's potential in him or her or whatever. Switch that to yourself. Like your true purpose is more important than your pain, and stop with the whole like, well, you have all this potential. What are you doing with it? And I say things on repeat and I repeat myself, and I've now learned to repeat myself so that you really get it. It's easier done than said. It's not the whole, oh, it's easier said than done. No. It's easier done than said, because you can sit on a sofa for the next 25 years and repeat the same damn story. You can, as much as I really do appreciate and I love 12 steps, the problem that I find is that you're literally saying something every day that you were. Not that you are, that you were. And so you can stay there. Granted, it's very helpful, those 12 steps, but I'm like beyond those. Like go the step beyond that to where you're not saying who you were, you're saying who you are, and your purpose is more important than your pain. It's easier done than said. You have to literally do it. So stop freaking talking about it and freaking do it. And that means, pull the sword out, go tell your story. One story that I have seen time and time again, that your trauma is looking like a sword, causes health problems, right? I have never met anyone who has fibromyalgia. Hey, heart, who has fibromyalgia, who was not also sexual abused as a child. Show me one. Maybe it exists, but I've never met it. And I have also seen time and time again, when you say the story out loud, when you actually have a moment and you cry and you say how mad you are, just say, you don't need to beat things up. The fibromyalgia goes away. Okay. So you can be living a joyful life out of pain, out of repeated chronic pain, when you deal with this. Because I've seen it firsthand. And also my sister did it. My sister had fibromyalgia. I saw it with her too. So I have it also in my family. Like I've seen it firsthand, and she's not the only one. And also I got out of a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair for 6 weeks, almost 8 weeks, actually. Worst pain of my life. I've had a baby, and I'll take contractions all day long over back pain. because it's excruciating. You're somebody. Hey, Harmony. I'm somebody, and so are you. I feel like I should bring out the violin, but I also have a guitar. Also have to. Oh, what are you talking about? Elvis. You're somebody. Elvis just fell on the floor. So listen, we're gonna move on. Elvis is on the floor. Elvis has left the building. So if your child, oh yikes. Here's a big one. If your child needed surgery to save them, how would you ease their fear of that surgery? Because it's talking about yourself. So if you have to actually like address something intense and go deep, how are you gonna comfort and ease a child into it that you love? That means also your inner child. How are you going to ease your inner child into that? That's a great question. This is also like gets you into talking to your inner child and like looking deep and being like, yeah, oh my God. Hey. So sometimes the pain of removing this, which is always crying or anger, come on now, it can hurt worse than it did going in, or you can perceive that it's going to hurt worse coming out than it did going in. It's going to hurt worse to talk about it. It's going to hurt worse to go there again. But I've done pretty much every healing modality known to man. I've gone out like for years. I did it where I went and I've floated in the eggs. I've had the crystals. I've had the gong over the parts. It was like bong, 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 to heal that stuff up. Like I've done all that stuff. It costs a lot of money. I've traveled all over the world, and all of it boils down to what you're saying to yourself in your head. What you're saying to yourself in your head, and purging sadness and rage. And y'all, that's free. That's free. You just have to know how to do it. And also get over the fear of doing it, because we're so afraid of expressing tears and anger that you'll be on the sofa with a therapist for 25 years until you get to the point where you can beat the sofa. I mean, and I'm just saying, here's a Nerf bat. Just beat the sofa. Let's have it yell at your dad, and then we're done. Like, and I get it. It's like more complicated than that sometimes, but it also isn't. You know, it is just literally sadness and rage. It keeps this in place, right? And we're so afraid to touch sadness and rage that we'll pound a bunch of addiction stuff with food, pills, meds. The meds are a whole other like trippy ball of wax that you can fall down into, and it's like a trick to keep you there, right? So it's like then you could get into addictions. You can marry abusive people. You could, you were just repeating it because at the core you're afraid of the tears and the sadness and the anger. And that's all it is. Are you from here? From here? What do you mean? How does it show? Does it show up that I'm in Tennessee? I go to Tennessee a lot. I'm going next week. I'll be in Tennessee riding at Music City e-bikes with my helmet on. Why might the process of removing the sword hurt worse than what put it there? Why? Because, and I'm from North Carolina. I'm Southern, but I'm not from Tennessee. Because being so upset and having why it's hard is having the tears and the rage, the sadness and the rage connected to what happened to us can be so daunting because it's sad and it makes you angry and it's sad. It's like, okay, then there you go. Because you don't disassociate from the pain anymore. Ooh, you said it. Because many times you don't want to address it, right? So you disassociate from the pain, you eat yourself silly, you beat yourself up, you are piling on whatever drugs, drinking, food, workaholicism. Does it say I'm in Nashville? Does it really? Oh. I spend once a month for a week in Nashville. So I love me some Nashville. And then I'm also on the road. Hey, y'all. Hey. But yeah, disassociating. Yeah, right. The wound is open. Yes. The wound is open, you're like, oh my God, I can't. And then you're like a walking like wounded little soldier, right? And I'm here to tell you, it happens all the time. You know, Jackie, like we're moving forward. Jackie and I've been in it for like what 30 years now. And it's like, yeah, new trauma comes up. New trauma in your work, new trauma in people, new trauma in relationships, new trauma in the world, in pandemicville. So there's always going to be something. And this work gives you faster ways to get out of it and elevate out of it. And this is what I do. And I share. You got me your workbook. Yay! Which one did you get? The coloring book or the picture? I'm curious which one you like better or which one you got. Which one did you get? Which one did you get, Rondi? And what do you have to feel in order to heal? Sadness and rage. Sadness and rage. It's real simple. In order to heal it, you have to feel it, but you don't have to go there because a lot of people like you don't have to go there fully. Like that is a healing technique and a belief that you have to go and feel the same thing. And I'm going to tell you now, I've done them all. You don't have to go through the same thing again. You don't have to go relive it to heal it. It's all about your neural pathways. You can create new neural pathways in your brain that overlap and replace the trauma triggers. I don't know, I'm driving. But I think it was the one that's not the coloring book. Yeah, okay, that's funny. That's awesome. Don't look at it if you're driving, y'all. What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, let's just look at in legal terms, it's called the parade of horribles. Like, what's the parade of horribles? What's the worst thing that could happen? What? Your trauma is repeated? What, you're going to cry all day? What, you're going to, like, I thought if I addressed mine, because I was one of those that I could cry at anything. I'll cry at a puppy commercial for sure, but I couldn't touch my rage because I was too afraid of my rage. So what I did in my life, and this might apply to you, is I had repeat relationships with very, very angry people. And I was not the angry one. They were. Until I really did this work, and I really did it like for real, and I'm radically honest, because I really recommend, like, if you really want to live your true purpose, you better be really radically honest with yourself. Like for real, like you have to be so radically honest. And when I was honest with myself, I was like, oh my God, I actually am attracted to really angry people because I'm angry. Deep down, I'll cry all day and be the weep, like the sensitive one, but I'm actually really, really angry. And I've never dealt with it. I've never, like, when I was a kid, I would pound on drums. That was my release. You can hold the drumsticks wrong. It's funny. Yeah, exactly. Or that's funny. So, but I realized that I was in relationships repeated with angry people because I was so angry. And as soon as I realized that, and I was like, oh God, well, ugh. And I had a fear personally, if I touch my rage, I will be a Tasmanian devil and I'll never stop. And I will be in an orange suit. And so, but that's not true, because that's why this concept works so well, is because when you do address it, it has an end point. It doesn't last. It's not a clown car like some people's vajayjay parts. I was like, wow, your vajayjay is a clown car. You just have kid after kid after kid after kid. Sorry, don't get me banned. So it's not like, it's not like a clown car. Like, woo! Like it's not gonna last forever. It has an end point. That's why it's like, and I'm telling you, I've done this work before. When you go and you actually have like a rage room, or you have a moment where you're gonna go park somewhere safely, like we talked about yesterday, safety first, and go scream and cry or beat something healthy way. You like a 7-Eleven, that's funny. It doesn't last forever, and you most likely will end up laughing. So it's like, there's one of the healing techniques that I share in my course that as a scream closet. So you can go into the closet when you're mad and shove all your clothes together, stick your face in it, and just scream bloody murder, because your clothes will muffle it, or a pillow or something. But there's something really great and powerful in a closet, because you're still standing and you still have this like stance take all your clothes, shove them together as tightly as you can, stick your face in it, and scream bloody murder. You're going to come out laughing. You will. Trust me. Call me. Don't call me. It's like my daughter. She goes, Mommy, I want to cuddle, but don't touch me. Oh, you're so funny. So it's like, you're going to scream and cry and scream and go lose your mind, but you're going to end up laughing. Okay. So I'll text you. Yeah, exactly. So go into the scream closet and then come out laughing. I think a good cry is always followed by a laugh. Yes. Same applies. So it's the same thing. It's the anger release and the sadness release. And I say put it on the schedule. Like the other day, I mean, if you don't do it, it's going to show up in hurting yourself. I'm sorry to say. It just happened to me this weekend. I personally got really upset by something, and I didn't just purge it right then. I hurt my finger, I twisted my knee, scratched my butt. Like it was, and as it happened, I was like, well, isn't this funny? This right here, this pulsating in pain finger is because I was so pissed and I didn't say anything, and I shut my finger in the door. I mean, it happens, y'all. It happens. And this is raw milk, not from the grocery store. I only drink raw milk from the dairy farm because that will actually heal your body. Just one of the many ways. Come up on my, ooh, hey. You should deep dive me if I came up on your FYP, because I'm a superhero for little kids and men and women. I'm like fun and healing for the whole family, even the creepy uncle. So what's the worst thing that can happen if you address crying and anger? That you just do it all day? You just cry all day? You're probably not going to happen. You just get mad all day? What's the worst thing that could happen? You're just going to be mad all day? Okay, well, try it and see what it says. Then, what makes you angry? What makes you angry, Shelton? Oh, there's the list. You may feel rage, pain, fear, anxiety, isolation, and self-hatred, among many other things. Am I right? What words come to mind as you think about removing your sword? This is another writing exercise that I actually recommend you doing with your non-dominant hand. And so that your subconscious will also talk to you when you do that. And yes, all school need her. Yes, you're going to bring her to the school. You really should do that. I'm really, really good at schools. I'm excellent with the little kids, like, because I'm Safe Side Super Chick. And also I speak at universities and stuff. Full disclosure, I did get fired from Notre Dame. So like sometimes I'm too much because I talk about everything having to do with trauma, including healing our bedrooms. So some places are like, Notre Dame was like, well, we want you to only talk about violence against women, not women as a whole and sexual beings. And I said the word. See, it's like you say that word. Please don't ban me. I'm gonna say sexmuckles. Oh my God. So like, yeah, it's a thing. Notre Dame and the turkey, exactly. Like, so. By the way, I can tell this on YouTube. I can't tell it on TikTok, but I'll speak in code. So in the realm of that, like, please bring me to your community. I'm great. You can find out all ways to do that at angelashelton.com/speaker. It's up at the top. And I love coming to when you bring me, utilize me more. Don't just have me speak at the university. That's crazy to me. Like, and that's how, like, I've been doing it for 20 something years. And the best places utilize me for more than one day. The university, yes, that's great. But also go to the elementary school. Also have something private in your home, like a backyard tent. Looks like a circus tent is the ideal, but like at least 12 people, up to 200 in your backyard if you can. And then we'll have a private holy bedrooms discussion. You know what I'm saying? And for the men and the women, I'm great at churches, although some churches get offended. So it's like, we're walking a fine line, but I am intentional with my talks. And also I am speaking bold truths so that people can heal their bedrooms from trauma, and also heal their lives and protect the kids. Main goal is protect the kids. And in order to protect the kids, you're packing. in order to protect the kids, we have to heal our bedrooms. You feel me? Because I have seen in all my travels, I've been to every state, done every highway, and I'm not attached to any political party. I'm not attached to any organization, although I am on the board of domesticshelters.org because I want you to know about them, because they've got great escape routes, but they don't censor me or tell me what to say or whatever, because you can't do that with me. If you want to look up my Enneagram, I'm a 7 adventurer. Don't tell me what to do. Hey, synagogue will work, or the Jewish Federation. Yeah, perfect. And if I do get in trouble with places like that, they're like, oh, we can't have her speak about that. You can go to the same people, right? But then do it in your backyard. You feel me? So then you're not getting in trouble with the church. And usually I'm going to tell you, when I do get in trouble and you're like, we can't have her, if you dissect it a little deeper, it's usually a perp. Okay. Or a victim addict that like, no, we can't have her because she's going to actually come in this town and she's going to change some things. And then we're not going to be able to handle it. And then people are going to get caught. And then, oh my God, like when I do talk at schools, elementary schools, there is going to be a kid who discloses. So be prepared for that. Like, bring me in as your secret weapon, but then be prepared for what happens. Okay. Because I'm the funny one. I'm cute and funny, and I bring the fun, but I also bring the truth. And that's why I'm funny, because the truth is horrible. Okay. And so just know going in that you're not doing a light thing, even though it's funny and fun. You feel me? So what words come to mind when you're removing your own sword? Fear, anger. Yes, here. I love it. So y'all can work together. And also, if you're the reason my group, the Rockstar Reformers, is so good. I ate a cookie. Just full disclosure. I've been working on my full body health, as you can tell. But when grandma makes homemade chocolate chip cookies, all that whole no sugar thing and stuff goes so out the window. And I'm like, it's a hot, like warm out of the oven chocolate chip cookie homemade by grandma. I mean, I'm going to put it in my mouth. So that's why I have this like cough about it later. It's like seriously, but when you know that it'll give you adverse effects, kind of like that, the dude or the girl that you're like, I'm going to see them again. I know that they give me irritation, but I'm going in again, man. I'm going in. You feel me? So when you are addressing your healing and your the sword of trauma, what words come to mind? And I'm leading up to something worth it. I know, seriously. Hey, Jay. Yeah, it's like, it's so delicious. It's like, as you're eating it, I'm like, I literally say, cough about it later. Cough about it later. I'm also the same way for chocolate gravy biscuits, which I think I'm going to get on Sunday because I'll be heading to Nashville tomorrow. And exactly right. Temporary indulgence. I know. I'm like, must have a discussion with myself. And what's, you can't unknown store strawberry are pink. What? What'd you say? I think a good cries, but you can't unknown store strawberries are painted. You can't some stores the strawberries are painted. Is that what you're saying? What the heck? Oh my God! Yes, the correlation of the food and the person is exactly the same thing. Yeah, I mean, yes, 100%. Like, it's like, I know I'm going to cough about that. But the ramifications. I know if I call that person or if I hang out with that person, there's going to be some whatever the hey, because of that person's trauma. This is actually, we talked about it before in another page in the workbook, but you can get into relationships with people who are also wounded, and you're not in a relationship with them. You're in a relationship with their trauma, and then you're just wounding each other. And you can sometimes get into a place where you're an objective observer, especially when you're working in meditation. And you can objectively observe your behavior with somebody else who's wounded. And you're just like, just step out of your body for a minute in a meditation moment and just watch how you both are reacting to each other. It has nothing to do with your core. It has everything to do with this. And you're just literally like your traumas are reacting to each other. So that's why it's important that you remove it. And you can't remove it for somebody else. You can do it for yourself. They'll see the process in you, they'll see the changes, and then you can, when they ask, hey, what's up with you? How are you? What are you doing? Then you can tell them, but do not, here's a side note, don't go like telling everybody this. Don't go telling everybody like, oh, you have a sword in you. I can see it. Because that's not on you to do. That's on them to do. Just like when you are getting better and healing. And like for all of us who are working with the one in Nashville, my friend Jesus, who his name is Sean Gilder. He looks just like Jesus. He was the missing link that I needed for my health. Like, so that's why like I look so good at 50, because I've been following his advice in health. And he says, even when you stop drinking, when you stop like eating certain things, don't go telling everybody. Just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it, because then the questions arrive, and then because everybody's talking to themselves, right? So when somebody starts coming at you with like, oh, well, you don't need to do that or whatever. Why are you doing that? You're making them uncomfortable. So when people ask you, hey, why do you look so good? Or why do you seem so happy? Then you can tell them about the work you're doing, or the sword, or the work, or the fact that like you're on Regenerate with us, or you quit drinking, or you tried Loot and you got off of all pharma. That's just my advice. My unsolicited advice is just live your life. Live your life and get better and elevate and expand. We're doing it together. When people see you change and they ask, share. But I don't think it's like a missionary thing. You know what I mean? Like missionary's fun sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a matter of like going out and proselytizing, because your if I say that right, is you living. That's your how do you say that word? Proselytizing. Have a great weekend. I love you. Check it. Exactly. So you see what I mean? So it's like, so you work on your own stuff, because people will see the difference. I mean, Rondi, look how beautiful. I mean, you're beautiful. Not that you weren't before, but you had some skin issues, girl. And it was showing up because of trauma and because of the bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. Pharma stuff, right? And then you did one thing that Sean recommended, and your whole face changed. I mean, it's like, what? And so I can provide one little thing in trauma world that you can try, and you're like, oh my God, I don't have any more panic attacks. Like, wow. And you get your body on, like, let's go. Proselytizing. Can you say that word 5 times? Proselytizing. Yeah. Acrobatics versus missionary. I'm into the 5-hour acrobatic workout, y'all. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm saying. Let me call that man. No, Angela, you listen. No. Keep your hands on the sword. Hello, Audrey, you get me. Hey, Audrey, you get me. So the next phase of this in the workbook is having a full-on rant. And we cannot do that on TikTok, because I'll get in trouble and I'll get suspended. I will hang up at the end and do a rant here on YouTube. So you can go to my YouTube and we'll go through a rant together. And then I want you to think about it over the weekend, for those of you who are actually doing this work with me in stages, to literally rant about something in writing, in your voice, in your phone. Like, pick up your phone. You're on my phone right now, but pick up your phone and do the little voice recorder and just go on a effer rant. When I was a little kid, my mom used to call it having a bitch session. Have a bitch session. So so throw up on my phone. Yeah. So throw up on and record it. Yeah. The audio. You can do video too, but you can get distracted by the video. That's why just turn the audio on and just give yourself full on permission. You can also use that later in your book. You see what I'm saying? I'm always going to give you little tidbits to help your true purpose. Because I'm talking to your truer purpose, not your pain. Do you remember? Do you remember I'm talking to your purpose, not your pain, not your pain. To your purpose, not your pain. To your purpose, not your pain, 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 pain. So it's going on a rant. And the beautiful thing about going on a rant and doing all the words is you will find relief in it. You're going to find some answers in there, and you're going to also purge. It's great to do it in text. It's great to do it in audio. You can also do it on video. I think you get distracted by doing that personally. And the point is having permission to say whatever dang word you ever wanted to say in your life. This is not something I've done, or rather I have done this many, many times. Hey, thank you. You're awesome too. So, I mean, I have honestly been in the witness. I have witnessed 80-year-old women in an event. There's like 500 people, and 80-year-old woman comes up and curses for the first time in her dang life with permission. Like, so you have permission. You're forgiven. Ain't nobody gonna get in trouble. You won't get a detention slip. You're not gonna get fired. You're not gonna get. You just say every single thing you ever wanted to say. Can't do it on TikTok because I'll get suspended. But it's really, really important that you do that. And the key is do not censor yourself. So you can say every single thing you ever wanted to say and purge it. And it's purged in writing and purged in audio. If those of you who are working on your books, the greatest thing is Google Drive. Google Drive has a little teeny microphone on it. You can press the microphone and you're talking, and then it's talking into text. And then you've got a chapter in your book. Look, granted, yes, you have to edit it, blah, blah, blah. But this will help you get past that whole, where do I start? Where do I begin? You start by just talking, y'all. Press your little record button, and then you just talk into it. Side note, we have a writing book course in my group, the Rockstar Reformers, the first Tuesday of every month. We're writing our books together. I've already done 3 books in there. And we share ways to level up. You share like you might be just starting and never written your book, or you might have written it and now want to know how to publish it without a publisher because I've been down the paths of both sides, and I can share all my secrets, which is what I do. What is FFS? What's FFS mean? What is, I mean, you probably can't. Is that what it is? Like I can't. So the point in having a rant is that you purge it and that you're not censored, because many times okay. Got you. God, I love you. Yeah. So you're going to go on a rant. Do it this weekend. Do it like there is to whomever, because they also do this in therapy that costs like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and sometimes takes you months and months and months to get to, because you're afraid of this, right? And then you're paying all this money for the one day. Are you ready to express your anger? Are you ready to cry? Well, I don't know. It's been 21 years I've been sitting on this sofa paying you $250 every month just because I'm afraid to talk. And I'm just putting all these meds in my mouth, and I'm afraid to actually address the real issue is that I hate him, right? You feel me? And so, or that I actually am gay, or whatever. You'll find a lot of things when you start to rant. You might find that you're like, I always wanted to play piano. I hate all these people. Like my grandmother did this, okay? And she did it with me privately. And she never wanted kids. She hated her husband, and she wanted to paint. And so when she died on her deathbed, I was like, hey, Gran, remember when you told me that thing? I don't know how it works over there, but if you can get over there and like figure out how to come back, like as my kid or something, I'll let you paint all you want. And she was like a devout Christian. You just do not mention things like that. But she looked at me and she's like, okay. And so I don't think my kid is my grandmother, because I have my grandmother showing up in other ways, but it was a nice thing to just put out there, and she did a rant, and she did not want kids. She hated her husband, and she wanted to paint. And so her anger expressed itself through beating her children, and her creativity expressed itself through making quilts. She made stunning quilts. Like, her quilts are beautiful because she really wanted to be a painter. So, like, all of your purpose and your life purpose is going to show up in your life. It's just, where is it showing up? How can you adjust things so that you can be living more of your purpose over your pain? Does that make sense? And, like, start listening to yourself. And you can listen to yourself when you have a permission given rant. You can say whatever thing you want. You can say anything politically incorrect. You can say anything you want. That's the key to the rant. To anyone you want. Just like blah, 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 blah. Like, I'll tell you right now, I will sit his ass down and give him a lecture. And I know that many men would pay for that. I didn't realize that until like 3 years ago. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. Brush, all right. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. My grandmother beat her kids. She was miserable because she really wanted to paint. And she was stuck in the church mentality of, you've married this person, you have to put up with everything, and you've done this lifestyle, so you have to put everything that you want to do erased, really, or in the trash. And when you do that in society, in a generational repeated trauma, it's going to show up somewhere. It's going to show up with beating the kids. It's going to show up with addictions, with health problems. I mean, hello, it's the sword. Oh my God, it's the sword. It's the sword. Da, 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 da. You know what? You didn't know you could play this with your finger, did you? One time too many. One time too many. You had some trauma. I love you. Oh, God. Trapeze yoga. Yes. Okay, so hello. Top of the morning to you. Hello. So, going on a rant. That's gonna be our end of discussion for the workbook. So, going on a rant. Look who is looking good in black. It's funny, Jerome. I got some knee pads on and a helmet, and I got my swords. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ha. That means when I slice over your head, you're like, oh, well, it's delicious, actually. It smells like fresh baked muffins. I love it very much. And red lipstick. So, ranting. What do you want to rant about? Political stuff, blah, blah, blah. Rant about organized perpetrators. Rant about, oh gosh, so many things. Hello there. Hello. And rant about yoga. Oh God. Oh Lord. So, in ranting about things, you will find answers in things. Okay. So you'll start yelling at yourself about yourself, or yelling at other people through yourself, and realizing, wait, it's about myself. It's like giving yourself real permission to rant. Okay. And I've done this. And then you come into really amazing realizations. For one in particular, I will tell you about my yoga one, and which is going to lead me into doing reaction videos on my YouTube page with doing yoga. It's going to be quite hilarious. It's being real funny. I came at the right time. I want to hear this. Yeah. So, wait, what was I saying? The rant about yoga. The rant about yoga. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, I'll just share my rant about yoga. I have a problem staying still. I'm going to be the one person. I'm not like this. I'm not like that. I don't have that like stuff. I am going to be funny always. And I personally have real, this like, I just can't stand it when people are freaking hypocrites. That's why I try to never be a hypocrite. That's also why I am so open with my own abuse and my own self-abuse. Like I came right out open with my book and told you that I used to beat the living hell out of myself. I was like the that scene in American Beauty when what's her face beats like smacks herself. That was the only time I've ever seen it I was like, oh my God, that is what I do. That's exactly what I do. Holy sheezballs. And that led me into not that movie, but this doing this work led me into stopping that and making a commitment with other people to stop it. And therefore, I am super honest and radically honest. So I'm also a double Sagittarius, if anybody cares. So like I'm like double Sagittarius with Cancer rising. So I'm like crazy and awesome at home. And I got a lot of Scorpio, which means I'm so sexy. Yeah, yo. So anyway, side note. I am bold, right? I speak things. I'm the adventurer. I'm going to speak things. And I got some major, like, horrible things happen to me, like actual, like, threats. I have to be careful on TikTok from women in their 30s who teach yoga. Okay. And this was not one. This is not two. This is not three. This was a pattern of like, wow, women in their 30s who teach yoga are. And I'm like, we should put and we can go into a rant of why, right? You're more than one sign. Well, yeah, we're all more than one sign. There's your sun, there's your rising, and your moon, right? My sun, rising, moon is what I know. Yeah, my sun and my moon is Sagittarius. My rising is Cancer. Is that how it works? Double Sagittarius, Cancer rising. Double pickle with some chocolate. These women need to drink rum. Yes. So I had I don't like the yoga classes. I don't like because I know them from behind the scenes, right? It's kind of like when I know so many celebrities and you've been on all the talk shows, right? And you see the behind the scenes, those people are crazy. Like legit crazy. And I'm like, yo, that's also why my social media says Angela Shelton 007 is because I'm climbing out the building. I'm gonna find the closest window. I'm gonna find the fire escape, and you're gonna think I'm in the bathroom, and I'm 10 blocks gone. I'm out. I'm in a boat. So that's also why I'm 007 because I'm like I James Bond my way out of that stuff, and I always have ever since I was a little kid. And that said, my rant, right, was like how I was so irritated about the hypocrisy and the BS in the front of like, we're going to wear all white and we're going to be dedicated to our vegan diet and we're going to do this moves. And then behind the scenes, we're going to be totally crazy and make people's lives hell. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And I'm like, what? And so I don't want to judge everything. I love it. I love me some yoga's great, but I started following amazing people, like mainly men in my life that are elevated way higher than me, but sometimes not way higher, but they've got their bodies on, their minds on, their bodies on, their relationships, their money. They look like they're in fashion magazines. I wanted to go to them. I did go to them and I became friends with many of them. What are you doing with your time and what are you eating? This was my questions. And lo and behold, they're drinking raw milk. They're eating grass-fed meat. They're eating liver. And all of them, every single one of them are doing yoga. Son of a biscuit. So I'm going to have to do it. So I had a rant about it. Okay. I'm telling you this so that you do it yourself for whatever you have issues with. And I was like, I have a rant about it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go to the class. I don't have time. Where am I going to go? I'm way out in the country. I'm going to have to do it online. Then my liver, but I've made it as curry, as I do have a cooking show. So lifts the voice, creeps out. Lifts the voice, and it's creepy yoga. So also I'm a big Jesus lover and like saying things that aren't Jesus related for me personally. You can take your judgments and put them somewhere else. This is my private life. I have to do yoga for Jesus. Otherwise it doesn't work for me in my mind. Okay. So that's just where I am. So I'm like, and so that's a whole other level. And so as I went on a rant about like my own rant, like I'm doing my own work, I'm like, let me go on a rant and see some ideas in this. I was like, oh, let me do reaction videos on YouTube because my daughter says I got to fix my YouTube channel because it's terrible. I thought about trying, and I'll do reaction videos to yoga, and then I won't filter what I have to say. That'll be funny, and I'll start doing yoga, and I'll do it for Jesus or with Jesus. Judge me all you want, and then also I will do what I really, really love to do, which is do dancing to especially gospel music. So I just love it. So I was like, oh, I'll do some gospel rock and roll yoga. That's what I'll do, and I'm sure I'll break every dang rule with the girls that are like, you have to wear white and you have to say this thing. And then you have to like speak with the glottal throb. Did you know that this thing is called a glottal throb in your throat? When you speak like this, it's called a glottal throb. Glottal throb. I don't know how to spell it, but anyway, I don't even care because I wrote this book called Dumb Model and Her Four French Chairs. And this voice is called a glottal throb. And it's when people aren't living in their true, real, actual selves because they're afraid of offending everybody. And so they live with their voice like up here because they can't actually get right down here because they haven't actually healed or addressed their actual core chakra. Even though we're going to talk about it and we're going to do it all the time, and we're going to drink this drink that tastes like fuzzy, and we're not going to eat meat, and we're going to like really be depleted of minerals in our minds. But we're going to like really be judgy. We're going to be like really judgy of other people. Do you feel me? It's called a glottal throat. And it's really, it's a thing, as you know. And it's because you're not fully present in your body. You're all the way up here because there's probably some trauma. Honestly, there's probably here, and people cover up all their trauma with things, including I'm going to teach yoga and teach you all the things that you're doing like wrong in your life because I'm not really addressing my life at all because like when I close the door and like lock this, I'm like a raving lunatic and I make people's lives like hell. But anyway, you need to do you're not wearing the right thing. I'm like, so cut me. I just can't. I can't do it. I will be climbing out the building. I will be on the roof, y'all. You're gonna see me in that class and then turn around and I will not be there. So, and she's like, where did she go? And you see like the little flimsy opening of like the ceiling, like the open that I climbed up and I escaped. Do you see what I mean? Do you feel me? Please quit with the glottal. Why do you have a problem with that? Don't stop judging my glottal throat. Stop judging my glottal throat. Yeah, I'm gonna take my glottal throat and I'm gonna make a song about it. And I'm gonna say, yeah, whatever. Is this gonna work? I bought this yesterday. Not the guitar was given to my daughter by Rhonda Hardcastle. She's a singer-songwriter in Nashville. She's amazing. Ugh. But I need, oh God. Anyway, I got Police Line, Do Not Cross. And I'm working on a punk rock song for this girls' detention center that I promised them I'd write a punk rock song. And I have written the punk rock song. I did it, y'all. I did it. And now I have it halfway recorded in my recording studio in Nashville. And not this trip, but I think next trip I'm going to actually like finish it up. It's called Take an Axe to It. You ready? This is not going to happen. I'm not going to plug this in. Take an axe to it. So this is, you never know what's going to happen. I asked somebody who was in love with me. Like I was like, hey, so what is it? What do you like about me? What's the thing? And they said, you never know what's going to happen. And I'm like, well, hell, that's true. So anyway, my Take an Axe to It, which also came out of a rant. Okay, it's all connected. So when you go on a rant, you never know what's going to happen. My rant for this song was, which I'm not going to sing you because this isn't even plugged in. Plug it in, Angela. Plug it in. Why are you judgy? So, oh my God. So, like, I'm holding like this electric guitar, and I should write a song about Guadalupe. Get your voice in your. Anyway, judgy. You're going to be so judgy. So, I went on a rant about perps and about generational trauma and about my own family, and it birthed a song. And it was it's Take an Axe to It. And I don't have it because I don't, at full disclosure, I only know like a couple chords on my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful full piece Kona Wood gorgeous acoustic guitar. This is actually made by Taylor himself. Gorgeous piece of, oh my God. So like, that's my gorgeous guitar that I can play like just a couple chords on. But I am going to learn this one so that I can play this song for the girls in the detention center. and it's called Take an Axe to It. And it is the song, just to give you a little precursor, is I had a little white house with a green wooden door, a little white house with a green wooden door. I chopped it all to pieces, I don't have it anymore. I chopped it all to pieces, I don't have it anymore. Could I be like sister? Could I be? Wait. Oh hell! I'm gonna have to look at my. Oh God, Angela, why do you have to do it right now? Take an axe. Take an axe to it. Just hold on. Yeah. I had a little white house with a green wooden door. Little white house with a green wooden door. I chopped it all to pieces. I don't have it anymore. I chopped it all to pieces. I don't have it anymore. I took an axe to it. I threw it in the fire and the flames did the rest. Threw it in the fire and the flames did the rest. Could I be like mother? Could I be like you? Could I be the one who never tells the truth? Can I be like sister, run and hide? Can I be like brother, can't decide? I took an axe to it. I may be broken, but I cannot lie. I'll chop it all to pieces and reveal the inside. That's my punk rock song. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now, where did you go? I gotta find you again. There you are. There you are. So drop the ooh. Yes, so that's sounds awesome. So I've done the first pass because I'm completely insecure about my voice. Full disclosure. It was actually men on my O F. Oh my God, you have one of those? Yeah. Oh my God, you're gross. You are. Whatever. I'm freaking gorgeous. What are you doing? Anyway, on my O, I learned that my voice is actually really great. And ASMR is like amazing. I've helped many men get off of corn and corn cob addiction with my voice. I mean, who knew? That's a whole thing. I didn't really realize that was the thing. It is a thing, and you're welcome. And it was healing for me too, because I was like, I always hated my voice, but for some reason, I thank you. I was introduced to the fact that I actually have a good voice, and yeah, Wait, are you like confused? Yeah, I do, and I'm not. They're not public yet, but they will be. I do these series of meditations for men to get them into their purpose and out of their pain and off of corn addiction. Put a P there. We're on TikTok. Everything is good about you. Well, let's see. Jerome, everything was good about you until I found out. That you. What I did. What's the worst thing you ever did in your life? I shit in a bag and left it in the room of a perpetrator. You did what? Yeah, I did that when I was 14. I've always been anti-perpetrator. Does that make you love me more? What'd you do? What's the worst thing you ever did in your life? Shit in a bag. Left it in a perpetrator. Anyway, you know what? So, you love me so much. Oh my God, and I snort. God. Y'all, I gotta go. So last week, oh my God, Harmony, God bless you. Whew, I'm so sorry. The last time you shot in your son's new car while he was in, did you just fart and it got away from you? Is that what happened? Oh my God. So full story, true story. My uncle is driving. Thank God this was not me. And my grandmother's in the car. And she did that. She let out a toot. And it was not a toot. It was a wet mess. Okay? Wet mess. She proceeds to take off her underwear while he's driving because she thought that was a good idea. And then she shimmies out of the underwear. And I'm like, no. And he's saying, no, Mom, no. She's like, I just want to get rid of it. She takes off the underwear while he's driving, rolls down the window, throws the underwear out the window, but it gets caught by the wind and comes back into the car. And I'm dead. I'm like, thank God I was not driving because I would have lit the car on fire. Walked away. So I can't do that. I can't do it. We have our limits. By the way, he's 16. Oh my God. He got the job. Okay, good. Oh my God. He got the job and you should poo-pooed in his car. Wow. You never know what's going to happen on here. You never know. Yeah. What have you come into? Hold on. I'll show you what you came into. You came into the violin that tells the saddest violin in the world for all of your trauma. Do you think I could do this? Could this be like the one woman band that just is every possible thing? This one time. What in the hell is happening? What in the hell is happening? This is the tiniest violin for all of your pains. And I know that your pains are so great that I got the big one. You need a harmonica now. You know what else I need? I need a little thingamajigger that comes up from my drums. That's the chimes that I can go. Yeah, that's what I need. You're my friend now. Now we are friends. Oh my God. So because we're gonna like Guadalupe together and we're gonna do a rant. It's on page 56 of the workbook. Page 56 of the workbook. Go on your rant. Do you like it? Yes. You know what I saw at the Grassroots Festival? I'd done seen it with my own eyes and I was like, I have been hypnotized and changed for life. There was this badass Asian girl. This not the matter that she's Asian, but she's particularly beautiful. And she was playing electric bass, and she busted out with a bow, and she started playing her bass with a bow. And I was like, I'm in love. So with the bow, not her, with her, a bow. I'm in love with a bow. So I was like, holy cow. So yeah, love that. So I'm going to play Super Mario World. Nice. I don't play video games. I know, right? Well, what is happening? And you know what? Stay safe out there, people. Stay safe. Stay safe when you're being wacky. I've got to go talk to my assistants. You do not want to be my assistant. Let me just tell you. They're incredibly overwhelmed. They're like, what? I mean, wait, what? What do you want us to do? Keep smiling. After all that's going on and you don't play video games, I will play Untitled Goose Game with my daughter. That's it. And that little stringy bit, that like unknown stringy bit where they're strung together and it's really beautiful and it's actually, that's it. I'm just like, I don't have time. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm writing books. I'm writing a show. I have a violin. I have electric guitar. I have a drum kit. I have puppets. And I have raw milk. And I've got Ron. Ain't nobody playing video games. Just like I don't sit around and watch TV. I just don't. I can't. I'm like, what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your time? And what are you putting in your mouth? And I have a call in 20 minutes. Once upon a time, we were love. I'm in love with this. So fun. I'm actually taking it with my kid, and I'm doing that so that she becomes my teacher a little bit, and she tells me what to do. She loves it, and I love promoting that with her. It's awesome. So yes, put it in the bag. Oh my God, you feel me? So, well, you don't sleep. Oh, well, let's work on that. Let's work on that. So, y'all, this was a fun day. Oh, is this broken already? Is this literally broken already? No, okay, good. Shoo. You know, I went into Dick's yesterday. I went to more than one Dick, and they didn't have knee pads. I was like, Dick's does not have knee pads, which is like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I was like, that should be front and center right when you walk in the door. Welcome to Dick's. Here's your knee pads. There ain't no knee pads for Dick's. I mean, what the hell? Like, I was like, I mean, what are y'all wanting in here? What are we doing? What are we doing in here? I will be waiting on that call. Nice to briefly catch you. I hope your day is amazing also. And hey, kitty. I just read that. I just read your name. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. This is not plugged in. Maybe it'll be plugged in on Monday. Oh, hell. You know what, y'all? I'll be in Nashville Monday. I won't have my drum. What am I going to do? I'll be in the Airbnb in Nashville at Music City e-bikes. I might have to bring my amp and my stuff. I got to think about that. I got to pack. I got to go. I got to go on a rant. It's on page 56. Let's go on a rant and then find. Yeah. Also, P.S. Does anybody have a rant they want to give to actual human? I've got one. And a great way to not do that is actually go on the rant yourself. You know, do it like I said on your phone, and then you don't do it to them because you probably maybe shouldn't, or maybe like need to edit that a little bit or really think about where all that's coming from. But just a good idea. You're awesome. Oh my God. So anyway, it was really great to introduce you today to the Guadal thread. And if you want to use that in your rant, you just have fun with that, okay? And spirit fingers, have a safe trip to Nashville. Yay! I'll see you on Monday. Actually, I'll see y'all later. I'm out of TikTok jail now, so I'll just come on here whenever I want. And I love you. You need a song about that, V? I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I love you. Quit. Don't. Oh my God. Really? You have a problem with that? Oh my God. Stop it. So we will. I'll be back definitely Monday morning at 8:30. All the weekday mornings at 8:30. And then TikTok, I'll go live whenever I can. Will you be in Nashville till Thursday? I'll be in Nashville all week. I will leave Saturday. I arrive on Monday. I leave Saturday. I will ride almost every day, except Wednesday. I'm booked fully. But I'll be riding Music City e-bikes. There's a 9 a.m. ride and a 2 p.m. ride. So you should come ride bikes. Come ride bikes. Yeah. Music City e-bikes. You know why I'm riding bikes? Because I ride with Jesus. The one in Nashville. He looks like Jesus. And he's my health dude. And as you can tell. And I'm like, I'm not even doing everything that he suggests. I'm doing like 40%. So I feel just a little bit like, don't judge. Yeah. Are you in Nashville? Come ride. I have my reformers meet up on Thursdays at noon. I should put this on my website. And then I will ride at the 2:00 ride. That was a lot of words. Anyway, I love all y'all. Let me see if I can. Do I have hearts? Have you been hearting me? Oh, you've been hearting me. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I'm 70 miles. That ain't nothing. I drive like 17 hours. That's fine. 70 miles. Yeah. The riding, his thing is so fun, and he's so great, and he's such a good person to know. So I really recommend Nashville. Music City e-bikes. And the one in Nashville. I'm going to Nashville to be with the one in Nashville. Not that way. Oh my God, what are you saying? So I love you guys. I will see you. This was week 9, depending on how you're watching it, or day 9, depending on how you're doing it. We'll be to day 10 on Monday, or week 10 on Monday. And I love you. Bye. And then